Sam Scaglione. Braden attends Mountain Christian Fellowship. He enjoys competitive swim and fishing. Outside of school and football, Braden helps coach a flag football team, and he is captain of the swim team. His favorite football memories are the team dinners. Braden plans to pursue a career in law enforcement. We are proud of your hard work and wish you the very best. Congratulations, Braden. Our final senior tonight is number 10, Keegan Sean. Keegan's parents are Michael and Shelley Sean. Keegan attends Applegate Christian Fellowship. He most enjoys hanging out with his dog, his friends, and his family. Keegan serves in our community as a youth basketball coach. Keegan has many great football memories, but his very favorite is catching his very first varsity touchdown pass thrown by his brother. Keegan is still weighing his options after college, but he plans to continue his education and attend college. We are proud of your hard work and dedication to Challenger football, Keegan. Congratulations on a very stellar career.
We also have one more senior, and we left him off. I'm so sorry, and I take full responsibility, but I'm not telling you who this is right now. Our last senior, and a great one, is Elijah Smith, here with his parents, Sherry and Jack Smith. Elijah, we've had a lot of talk, buddy. I know a lot about you, but I know you're a passionate kid. You love your friends, you love your family, and I know you love this football program. We wish you the best of luck in the future, buddy, and I look forward to the impact that you're going to make in this world and on God's kingdom. We wish you the best of luck, Elijah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one final round of applause for this special group of outstanding student athletes. Thanks again to each player and their parents for all you've done for Cascade football. We look forward to watching what you can do with your team in the playoffs. Congratulations.
K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
And welcome back. We've actually got the national anthem going right now, but it's very soft and it's not coming in across our microphone, so I'm going to go ahead and go to our Bills Glass Coaches Corner. I had a chance to catch up with Coach Jamie Young before the game, so we will hear from him right now. All right, time now for our Bills Glass Coaches Corner. I have Coach Jamie Young with me. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Big night tonight. You locked down a playoff spot last week, so I know that takes a little bit off your mind, but still, doesn't say much coming into a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, right now we're focused on one thing, and that's playing Cascade Christian tonight. Outstanding program, one of the top programs in our classification in the state for many years. And so great opportunity for us. Our kids are really excited about this. Excited here in a little over an hour to get this done.
How good is it to have brother back? You got him back last week to be able to run your offense, feel like you're full strength, be able to do your thing out there. What's it like to have that going into a game like this?
Well, obviously it's huge. Brother came out last week after sitting out for a game due to injury, and he had probably his best game of the season. Not just in statistically, but in terms of decisions he made on the field. He's really matured as our quarterback, and this is the kind of game that we're expecting him to play big in.
Good week of practice. Just want to let everybody know that everything go well. How did practice go? Nothing new on the injury front? Anything there?
Well, we did have one injury in the game last week, so we'll be without Connor Walker tonight. Nothing serious, but and hopefully he'll be back for playoffs. But he'll be out, and so we've certainly going to have to make some adjustments on both sides of the ball with his absence. But other than that, we're healthy. Great week of practice. Kids are excited. This is why you play high school football, for games like this. And it's over an hour before kickoff, and we already got people in the stands. So this is a big game, and this is exciting to get to a point. I've been here now 11 years, and in 11 years, this game it wasn't really very relevant. The last couple years have been what we've hoped it could be, which is an opportunity for two crosstown rivals to get out there and play for some pretty big stakes at the end of the season. Excited to get things rolling.
I know senior night was last night. Second, talk about this senior class. Talk about what they mean to this team and what you expect of them tonight.
Well, they've been an outstanding senior class. They've been a class that they have a lot of fun playing football together. They have a lot of fun off the field. They're a very close-knit group, and they do anything for each other, and that is reflected on the field. There's no quitting these guys, and they're a very resilient group, and they're very aware that this is their last opportunity to play Cascade, and Cascade's got the best of us in a big way the past few years, and so we're hoping to go out and compete much better this year, and those guys are just they're excited that they're out there with their buddies and playing in a big game like tonight.
All right, that'll do it for our Bills Corner. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back right after this.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
The Know Your Role campaign needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that the parent, the coach, the referee, the fans, we all have a role.
And welcome back. We are under a minute to kick off. Challengers lining up to take the field in their home game in this rivalry with St. Mary's. It is a Challengers home game tonight. These two teams come in very highly ranked. I've got some stats here for you from the St. Mary's side. Brother, so nice to have Ali'iloa back. He is 70 for 137 on the season for 1,171 yards, 22 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions, and a better than 10-yard per carry average, 340 yards on 33 carries for Ali'iloa. I'll go through some of the other one of those as we get going here. Chris Phillips, Nate Goodyear to my right behind the camera. Say hi to the folks, Nate.
Hey, Chris and folks. I'm behind the camera, but I'm excited to bring this one to you tonight. I mean, I think whoever wins this game has got the inside track probably to the number 2 spot going into the playoffs. And, you know, I think on paper you'd look and you'd think that maybe Cascade Christian is going to be the favorite, but you can't rule out St. Mary's tonight just based on the way we've seen them progress this year and kind of fight through adversity as a team. Being without their starting quarterback and earning a win, I think that's the type of thing that builds resilience in a team that might pay off tonight.
Absolutely. Kick is away. St. Mary's deferred. The kick is muffed at the 10. He does a nice job to recover it and turn it into something positive. But Cascade Christian going to start the first drive of this game from just their own 12-yard line. So not an ideal start. St. Mary's, again, did defer that opening coin toss, so they will receive to open the second half. The St. Mary's defense, really the strength of this team. They have been great all year. They have allowed just 12 touchdowns on the season as this St. Mary's defense, and they've got Cascade Christian on their heels to start this one. Sean takes the snap under pressure right away. Great job to escape and pick up about 6 yards. Really great awareness from Keegan Sean.
Yeah, just so fast breaking out of the pocket, breaking contain of that defensive end and getting out of trouble. That's just where you got to stay disciplined as an end. And, you know, it's easier said than done with an athlete like that, you know, at the quarterback position. But you got to be able to keep contain and keep him from getting around the edge, because once he turns upfield, you pick up yardage in a hurry.
Certainly able to do something with the ball in his hands, 5 wide. Here comes the motion. He does hand it off to the motion man. Turns the corner. Driven out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Cade Sample on the carry. So nice job, I think, to come out in the 5 wide look. You get just assuming pass, come with a motion across the backfield and hand it off to the motion man. So that will be a first down. So challengers, no adverse effects from that muffed kickoff. They start marching the ball downfield right away. This time the handoff on the dive will pick up. He may have even lost a little bit. Now they'll give him just the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10. And you're running right into the heart of that St. Mary's defense. Nate Thickett really holds down the middle well, so Trey Foster can explode around the edge. 2nd and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Sean claps his hands, designed roll to the right, plenty of room in front of him. Pressure finally gets there. Sean just has to throw it away.
They really want to test the edges of that St. Mary's defense because, as you mentioned, Chris, going right up the middle isn't going to be where the yardage is made. You know, if they want to run those dive plays all night, I think the Crusaders are going to take it. What's really going to test them tonight is their discipline from the defensive end, especially from Trey Foster. We've seen him get a little bit jumpy on the snap counts from time to time this year, and they gave up a big play on an option going his direction too. So I think that's the point of attack for the Crusaders.
This time Sample comes in motion. Sean keeps it. Beautiful move to get upfield and pick up the first down on 3rd and 10. Huge play from Keegan Sean.
Just playmaking right there, too.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield. I mean, that time the line did hold their discipline, but Sean just too squirrely back there, breaking free. Wasted no time getting on the ball either.
Keeps, Beautiful read, nothing but green grass in front of Keegan Sean. That will be 59 yards for the Cascade Christian touchdown.
There it was, just like we said it right there. And that's you can practice that all you want, but it still does take tremendous timing and athleticism to be able to hold the ball in the belly of the for that long, pull it out, still make the smart decision to cut up field. And once he gets past that really broke through the first level of the defense, there was no one that was going to be able to catch him. They were all strung wide trying to stop that play around the end.
As soon as you turn it upfield, here's a flag. See what this is on the extra point. Yeah, like you said, not just one, not just two, several good decisions from Keegan Sean there. Perfect execution to hold the ball as long as humanly possible. Finally put his foot in the ground, turned it upfield, and the explosion after that was really impressive. Nobody was bringing him down from behind.
90 seconds and a score. That's worth the game.
Kick is up and good. Cascade Christian comes out explosively here in the first quarter of this one. Like you said, not even 90 seconds off the clock. Just 10 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first. We'll be back.
West Orthodontics is pleased to be presented.
Welcome back. Keegan Sean went 59 yards on the option keeper, and the Challengers lead this one 7-0. Kick is away. He's going to let it go over his head and into the end zone. So the Crusaders will take over at their own 20. Other leaders on the season for you for St. Mary's stat-wise. Brady Eiler, of course, the leading rusher, 78 carries for 638 yards and 7 touchdowns for Brady. Trey Foster, of course, the leading receiver, 28 catches for 640 yards and 11 touchdowns on the season for Trey. Brother will take the snap, hand it to Brady. Yes, right up the middle. He'll pick up 2. Yeah, they'll give him 3.
The carry. Pick up a 3. Christian Brim on the stop.
And even though Foster's really their biggest offensive weapon and not just, in physical stature, they want to run the ball. That's the primary point of their offense, because that's going to lead to isolation situations for Foster on the edge.
Eiler over right tackle this time, picks up another 3.
Offensively, on paper, it's really simple. If you're St. Mary's and you have a guy like that running routes out on the edge, you just pound it until the defense can't do anything other than man him up. They have to commit an extra guy to the box, and then you can just throw it up in the air for Trey.
Eiler 3 in a row. This time the Challengers are up to the challenge. Promise I didn't do that on purpose.
Eiler with the carry.
And they're not going to give it to him, I don't think. 4th and short. Decision time early in a big game for Coach Jamie Young.
Are we going to get a measurement?
Say refs are going to talk about this one.
That never happens anymore.
We'll see.
I want to see our white hat there just kind of get down on his hands and knees and eyeball it from the edge.
We are now going to change the call.
Doesn't get much closer than that. I'm glad they took the time to make sure.
I mean, if they started on the 20, they have to get to exactly the 30, and the middle of the football is exactly, I mean, the ball is clearly past the 30.
Centered it.
Yeah. St. Mary's 1st and 10 from their 30. Again, Eiler up the middle, and again, Cascade Christian not fooled. All over that.
On the stop. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Fake the handoff to Eiler, rolled to the right. Pass is complete. To Jonah Hadley, and a first down, big first down across midfield.
I mean, it's almost as though those first 4 plays or so were scripted. They just dive up the middle for about, 3-4 plays in a row, and then run that little simple play action off of it. And, of course, you got your guy wide open in the flat. Nice route run by Hadley. St. Mary's is moving.
Brother, extremely accurate from the pocket and especially really on the run. Motion coming our way. 1st and 10. Hand off to Brady Eiler. Try the left side this time with much more success. 7 yards for Brady Eiler. Bring up 2nd and short.
Now's a good time to take a shot, too, if you're St. Mary's. You've got your way into Cascade territory. You picked up a couple first downs, and you've got a 2nd and, relatively short here. Throw one up to your big guy, and you got ISO coverage up top. Now's the time. That's what we're going to see.
Going up top, there it is. Trying for the explosive play. The coverage is right there in his hip pocket. Beautifully done.
It was fantastic coverage on the play by Matt McFeeters. There's no better way to defend that ball. The only way to complete that is just to get it further up in the air.
You to somehow tip it actually backwards, like volleyball it. Perfect coverage. They go back that way. He jumps the route, and the interception for Cascade Christian. Big turnover. While St. Mary's was moving the ball, he saw it coming all the way. He jumped the route. McFeeters again with the big play.
And that's a play you make on Tuesday in the film room, Chris. He saw that coming, right? He knew they weren't going to run 2 fades in a row also, so he just jumped it. He was there long before the ball arrived. Just a rough decision out of Kaeo Wailahua. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Nice. I knew it was going to come up at some point. You just calling him brother. I'm not on that type of first
that kind of
relationship with him yet.
Yeah.
He's got to know to tuck that ball, though.
Yeah. Sean to the sideline, complete. Picks up 8. And this Challengers offense is just a machine right now.
9-yard pickup.
Sample on the reception. They give him 9, so 2nd and 1. Coming up on 7.5 minutes left in the first quarter. A monster interception from McFeeters while St. Mary's was moving the ball. He does hand it off. Sample with room to the 44.
Chris, we've seen St. Mary's a few times this year. You've seen them more than I have, but they're not a team that's built on speed.
Yeah.
And Cascade Christian clearly is, and so far, and it's not that that's the end-all, be-all, but so far it has been the difference in the first half.
Sean keeps it, reads the box. Again, tons of open room. Great decision. Keegan Sean inside the 10, 37 yards. Again, just matchup nightmares all over the field with the challengers. Sample gets the carry. Can't bring him down. Cuts it upfield to the 3. Nice job to break the first tackle and turn it upfield.
That's got to be frustrating for Jamie Young, too, because you finally get your guys out there on the edge to have the discipline to cut that play off. You just got to finish the tackle.
Just shows how textbook perfect you have to be against this Cascade Christian team. You have to execute at every point of the play. Sean, design keeper, touchdown. Cascade Christian. Challengers flexing some muscle right now.
It was nifty. It was almost, you remember when Deion Sanders would catch a punt, he would pause for a second, wait for his blockers to set. That's kind of what Sean did there. He just took it. He waited for a second for his offensive line to push those rushers upfield. And again, it's taking advantage of the aggressiveness of this Crusaders defensive line.
Kick is up. Kick is good. 14-0. Challengers lead this one. We'll be back. Crusaders get the ball right after this. Welcome back. There you see the score. Challengers lead at 14-0. Not even halfway through the fourth quarter. They have scored on both of their first 2 drives. Here's a nice return. St. Mary's will have excellent field position. Is that Brady Eiler?
It was
Hike. 25, not 26.
Good job to dodge a tackler. Managed to earn him another 20 yards or so.
Correction, 44-yard line, 1st and 10, St. Mary's.
So the Crusaders will take over with excellent field position from their own 44. They've got some work to do. Eiler up the middle, has 5, falls for 8.
Eddie Eiler with the carry. Michael Coy on the stop for Cascade Christian. 8-yard pickup, 2nd and 2.
If you're St. Mary's, you'd love to score quickly here and take the wind out of the sails. But if you're not going to do that, take some time off the clock. Get some of that momentum back. Pound the ball, land some body blows on this Cascade defense.
Brady Eiler certainly the workhorse for that. He picks up first down.
First down.
At this point, you're already down 2 scores. The best you can hope for is to do a tortoise in the hare thing. Beat them through the finish line because you were able to beat them up in this middle part of the game now, wear them out a little bit, and hope that you're the better conditioned team come the end of the game.
Try the left side and pick up 4.
So Hika on the carry.
Hika again.
Stopped by Cascade Christian Challengers. 2nd down. 7. 2nd and 7.
Matt McFeeters is following to the field. He's switched down to this near side. You can see that they really like that matchup.
You see why early. Beautiful coverage and then the pick. Hika again. Only a couple.
3rd and 6. And Crater up early, 21-0. Man, Churchill kind of fell off a cliff here this year. Typically, the Lancers a power at 5A. Brother trying to escape, rolls back into pressure. Now he tucks it. First down. He ran a long way to pick up a 7-yard first down.
Looked like he was sacked 2 or 3 different times on that play. Able to squeeze through. He took a shot at the end, but picked up the first down, and that's what matters.
First down, stopped by Davis Federico.
Just calling brother.
Yeah, Davis Federico delivering the pop at the end, but not before a first down.
Both these teams 3-1 in conference. Both these teams lost to Hidden Valley, the number 1 3A team in the state.
Stopped by Christian Vrem. 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 for the Crusader.
Both of these teams have also locked down play. It's just a matter of seeding now. Only a yard.
Titus Miller on the stop. 3rd and 6 for St. Mary's.
And if the last 3rd and 6 was any indication of what we're about to see, Crusaders about to get real creative. Looks left, has a receiver, complete for the first down. Beautifully run play. Found Jonah Hadley just past the sticks.
Good timing route there. I mean, that's what that all comes down to. You're faced up against a zone, and Hadley just found the pocket, or Hadley, I should say, just found the pocket in the zone. And if you don't get that ball there on time, then the zone's going to react to it.
Another perfectly thrown ball from Kaio Wailehua. Handed off. Eiler, a little jump cut, turns it upfield, picks up more than he has been used to.
Hats off.
Yeah, we got a helmet off. Assume that's Eiler down there. He'll have to come out for a play. Will Heika's been doing quite a bit of work as well. Important to keep those fresh legs in here. Like you were saying, Nate, this St. Mary's feels like if they're going to stay in this, it's going to be a grinded-out kind of game against an explosive team. 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd. It's Hadley on the motion. Brother turns that way. Behind some blockers. Makes a couple guys miss. That's going to be close to a first down. That's going to be good for a first down.
It was a nice move in a tight spot to pick up the extra yardage, but you just look at how that play ended. 5 black shirts right on the ball.
Right.
We've brought that up more than once with this team this year. The way they rally to the ball is as good as any team I've watched this year.
Absolutely. Motion into the border. Brother rolls against it, trying to get in some space. Throw it up to Foster. Perfectly covered again. Intercepted in the back corner of the end zone.
Christian Freilich that time.
And they are just not letting those fades get off. So the second interception of the first quarter for this Cascade Christian defense. Christian Freilich this time. Last time it was Matt McFeeters.
And, you know, make no mistake about it. Both of those defensive backs have made tremendous plays on the ball on those 2 fade routes. But the other side of it is, if you're throwing that ball to Trey Foster, it's either got to go out of bounds or in his hands up above everyone else. He has a huge height advantage on both McFeeters and Freilich. And it just goes to show you how little the margin for error is on a throw like that. You just got to make sure that that ball's either out of bounds.
Right,
or
against
up above
playmakers like
everything.
that who can go up, who can go up and get it just as well as Foster can. Timeout, Cascade Christian. We're going to go ahead and take this one with them. Score is 14-0 Challengers, and they now have the ball after their second interception of the first quarter. Back after this.
Let's go! At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
The Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery provide professional, personal, and compassionate care for their patients. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls practice the full scope of services, from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much more. For more information,
Welcome back. Sorry to our fine sponsors here on TableRockSports.net, but the play on the field always more important. Get all those ads in. Over the top, tried to find Cade Sample just off his fingertips.
Boy, if they make that connection, it's 20-0. There was nobody over the top of that. Just straight man coverage up the seams. Keegan Sean's going to be kicking himself because that's a throw he makes in his sleep. Really, I mean, it was just out of reach, too, so I'm sure part of, Cade Sample might have been able to lay out for that and make the play, but he knew there was nothing but turf in front of him and that he was going to get 6 and might have got caught in between.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Sample in motion, will stop and head back. This time the handoff. Little jump cut, nice job. And again, lots of green space across midfield. 35 yards for Elijah Smith.
They forgot about him when they were doing the senior night announcements. Didn't have a script for him. He's making sure that he's getting remembered in some way tonight.
Coach had to run up to the PA booth and just kind of wing it.
33-yard gain for Cascade.
Got the stacked formation. You see right above your scoreboard there. Handoff goes to Smith, and again, huge hole through the middle. Puts his head down, 17 yards for Elijah Smith.
And St. Mary's has got to come up with a turnover.
Yeah,
they've got to get the ball back here because they're in danger of letting this one get away from them.
That first one hurt bad, interception hurt bad enough, but that one down in the corner when you were driving, that hurt. Pressure got to Sean, who didn't have the ball.
Oh, see, they faked me out on that one.
They do. That's why I hate. That's why I think that's a good no call on Foster there. I mean, you can't fault him. He has no idea he doesn't have the ball. It's not like he's trying to make
carrying out a fake. They're your fair game.
Inside a minute now. Sean claps his hands, keeps it, pumps, goes over the middle, just over the outstretched hands of Kobe Aldrich. And it falls complete at the 4-yard line.
Well, they just missed hitting on that earlier in the drive. No adjustment. Mary's same coverage, nobody over the top. Results in a big gain.
Certainly does. Inside the 5, Smith put the ball on the ground, but managed to jump back on top of it. So the Challengers will maintain possession, but a scary moment there, and almost what you were just saying, Nate.
Mary's, now you're just itching because that's a bit of a missed opportunity, and you know you're only going to get so many of those against Cascade Christian.
Sean rolls right, throws to the corner, just off his hands. That's a tough angle on that throw. A moving quarterback, a receiver moving away from him.
Yeah, it's such a tight spot. You tend to take those for granted because they look so easy when they're completed. They're not for big yardage. but that receiver's looking all the way back across his body. If he gets one step wrong and gets caught flat-footed, that's what happens right there.
6 seconds left in the quarter, and Crusaders get a little bit antsy.
Outside on Crusaders. That's the distance to the goal line. Third goal from the 2.5-yard line.
Nothing really lost there, though. If you're the Crusaders, half the distance, you got to get a jump on this ball.
Yeah.
Giving up a few inches isn't going to make that much of a difference.
3rd and goal from the 4. 6 seconds left in the first quarter. Challengers trying to go up 3 touchdowns. Sean will come up under center. Now they'll pitch it out to nothing but green space. Touchdown, Cascade Christian, Elijah Smith.
I like that they rewarded him with the score on that drive. He had a big run to break into St. Mary's territory and really set up the Challengers in position to finish off this drive. So, give the kid a score. Make it happen. I like it.
1 tick left on the clock. Challengers trying to go up 3 full scores. And they do exactly that. 21-0 all Challengers as we're about to close out the first quarter. We'll go ahead and keep it here, get some of our live reads. I want to say thank you so much to Bill's Glass. You heard from them in the pregame segment. Sponsors of our Coach's Corner. Bill's Glass are proud to be a sponsor of high school athletics. They've been the industry leader and clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years, covering the full spectrum of glass from your vehicle to any room in your house. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. So I want to say thank you, a particular thank you to some St. Mary's folks here, the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their associates for oral and maxillofacial surgery provide professional, personal, and compassionate care to their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls. Practice a full scope of services from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much, much more. For more information or to schedule your complimentary dental implant consultation, give them a call, 541-779-3781. Of course, we could not do what we do here on Table Rock Sports without our great sponsors, giving all these great games to you for free on our great new YouTube premium channel. Great decision by Foster. Could have been. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I guess it's a touchback. So let's go ahead and let that one
bounce at the end.
So this will undoubtedly be the final play of the first quarter. All Challengers twice through the air and once on the ground. Bo Aldrich in motion. Hand off to Eiler. Follows his blocker. Right back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll do it. 21-0 Challengers over Crusaders at the finish of the first quarter. We'll be back with the second from U.S. Cellular Field right after this.
Let's go! At U.S. Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local U.S. Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that The parent, the coach, the referee, the fans, we all have a role.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is a guy from Lithia who made it all possible. Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister.
Welcome back. Beginning of the second quarter. Crusaders with the ball. They try the sideline. Foster can't get the mitts on it.
Trying everything they can to get the ball to Foster. I mean, right there, that's as good as a handoff. Just couldn't connect on it.
Uh-oh, pressure. Escapes downfield. Has Foster. Breaks the first tackle, but brought down by the second. Foster the younger that time. Oh, it was Jonah Ham. So sorry. Jonah Hadley. My apologies. Now comes Jaden.
Scramble drill. It's the right thing. If you're on that side that he's coming to, come back to the quarterback, find a spot, sit down, and get yourself a stat.
Be a good target. Eiler, just a couple.
Brady Eiler on the carry.
2nd and 8.
Tristan Frelick on the stop.
At this point, you can't think too hard about it. If you're St. Mary's, you're down 3 scores, but you wonder at what point they rule out the long ball to Trey Foster with the way it ended tonight so effectively.
Right. And we're going to get a jump probably on the Crusaders. Folks, I want to remind you, you can join up with Table Rock Sports and the NFHS Network for football, soccer, and volleyball playoffs here in the month of November. A single 1 month $9.95 subscription gets you all the games on the NFH networks in all the sports. Just $10. Such a great deal. Go ahead and join us there. Proud to be partners with the NFHS network. Again, escapes the rush, escapes the first wave of the rush, escapes the second, puts it up for Foster. Another interception, Matt McFeeters. Foster tried to turn into a DB there and tip it away, but Matt McFeeters came down with it, and that's exactly what you were just saying, Nate. If you take away the threat of the downfield bomb, the Foster doesn't leave St. Mary's with a lot of options on offense.
So 4 times in this game, St. Mary's has thrown the ball beyond the line of scrimmage to Trey Foster. 3 of them have been intercepted. And what's most impressive about that is that Cascade Christian, unlike a lot of teams that we've seen this year, is just manning up Trey Foster.
Right.
We've seen teams flat out bracket him at the line of scrimmage, stack defenders right on top of him to prevent that from happening. Cascade, they've come right out of the gate challenging St. Mary's, hey, throw that deep ball, and it's paid off for Cascade.
It absolutely has, and that's what happens when you have playmakers on the defensive side like they do. I mean, Matt McFeeters, like you said, he is tracking Trey Foster across this field. Everywhere he goes, he's manning him up, and again, you see it there. Ali Iloa tries to put it up, tries to get that bailout toss-up that has gotten him out of so much trouble all year, and Matt McFeeters is just plastered all over Foster.
This is just a tough team that they're playing. It's taken those things away. You aren't able to do those things against state championship worthy squads. It's just a different level.
And say thank you to our great sponsors at Siskiyou Cellular. You can stop into any of the 7 Siskiyou Cellular locations in Southern Oregon for a wide range of your wireless needs. For over 25 years, Siskiyou Cellular has been keeping customers connected to people and things that matter most. You can check out the latest individual, family, and business plans with all the latest smartphones, tablets, hotspots, and accessories. Siskiyou Cellular is a presenting sponsor of Table Rock Sports. Also, our sponsors at Arby's. Remember, before and after the game, you can stop in at Arby's at 41 East Stewart Avenue in Medford, where they have the meats and they mean it. Like to stop there. It's obviously right there as you're coming out of Spiegelberg. Got the black and blue game tonight. There's a slant pattern. Freilich breaks the tackle. And makes a miss downfield. Still finally brought him down. That was a 72-yard slant pass to Christian Freilich.
Did all the work himself too. You know, that's why those slant passes are so dangerous. We see him get broken up short, but when they don't, you hit a guy on the run, he finds a seam between the safety and the corner, and he's a dangerous athlete like that. I mean, look at how that happens.
Just that quickly in scoring position. Great pump fake, great throw. Cade Sample. Keegan Sean is just on the money tonight.
What can you say? I don't think either of us were expecting this. 27-0 pending the extra point. 90 seconds into the second quarter.
The efficiency on offense is breathtaking.
And when you turn the ball over 3 times trying to get to your top skill player, you're down 4 scores. Ugh, that's brutal.
And just as they did to open the game in the first quarter, within just about 90 seconds of the beginning of the quarter, the Challengers have put a touchdown on the board. They lead this one 28-0. We'll be back on Table Rock Sports right after this. It is all a Cascade Christian as we are 90 seconds into the second quarter, and they are already up 28-0, just ruthlessly efficient on offense. And Keegan Sean has been just about picture perfect from the pocket. Jaden Foster will look to pick up some blocks. Breaks a couple of tackles as well. We'll get out to about the 29. They'll give him the 30. It is every bit of an uphill climb for the Crusaders now.
Yeah, Chris, I know that they're not real adventurous on offense. They like to kind of keep things simple and run a few plays right rather than get too tricky, but if you've got something in your back pocket, now's the time to bust it out. Yeah, I mean, this isn't getting any better for you.
Foster and Hadley wide to the near side. Handed off to Eiler. He broke the initial contact in the backfield, but still only picked up a couple.
You have to be able to get creative against teams like this, getting the ball to your playmakers. And so far, I haven't seen them run one play tonight that we haven't seen regularly throughout the course of the season.
Right. Brother to the flat. Aldrich.
Great tackle.
They're going to give it to him. The near side official is going to mark him clear of the 40 and give him the first down.
That was Keegan Sean making the stop.
Yeah, he plays center field. You can see him on the back end of this defense. Just a great leader on both sides of the ball. He and Cade Sample play this too deep. Hand off to Eiler. Good for the first down. And we got a flag. This one might come back. Just too bad.
Penalty flag on the play. Mr. Frelick on the stop. Holding against the Crusaders.
Holding against St. Mary's is the call. So that'll back up the Crusaders just when they were starting to get a little something going. First real big play here in quite a while.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but that was kind of a late flag for a hold.
Was. And since it was so far downfield, that's actually a spot of the foul penalty. So 10 yards from 7 yards downfield equals a net loss of 3. But nothing doing here on 1st and 13. They're going to give him about half a yard.
Well, there they kind of mixed things up a little bit, but we saw them set up that play 2 plays ago, and if you're going to do something like that, you have to have more patience. You set it up maybe once or twice, but 2 plays ago, I don't know. It didn't pay off there.
Right. And it's just hard when you can't really get into a rhythm. It's so hard to call plays, and this is just the bomb to Foster. And again, he is absolutely in his hip pocket. I mean, that's McFeeters again, and there's just nowhere to go with that ball.
Nope. And that's, it is kind of tough for me, too, to sit here and say at the beginning of this drive, if you've got something crazy, now's the time to do it. And then and then chastise them, so to speak, for going to the well a little too early. But it's kind of like you alluded to, Chris. That's the reality of what St. Mary's is facing right now, is that they've kind of just got to go for it. They can't afford to be all that patient down 28-0.
Hadley in motion. Looks that way, comes back with the screen, and Cascade Christian is just all over it. Even the PA announcer has been reduced to just a bevy of black shirts.
Elijah Smith and Michael Coy on the stop.
Didn't fool him at all. And I don't know what you do if you're Jamie Young over there. You just kind of have to keep trying it. But it's like Cascade Christian knows what's coming before the ball's even snapped.
So this is a very good Cascade Christian team that's coming off a state title appearance. Has obviously those same aspirations this year. Punt angled toward the sideline, gets a pretty good bounce. Frelick let it hit. They're going to mark it out, probably right about the 30-yard line. Yeah, he's going to stop right at the 30.
Out of bounds. At the 30-yard line.
And it's time for all of those former high school athletes out there to get back in the game. Please consider becoming an OSAA official. There's a serious shortage statewide in all sports at all levels. You can go to www.newofficials.org to learn how you can get back in the game. Speaking of getting back in the game, a big play from the St. Mary's defense right here would go a long way towards getting them back. And Sean is just deadly right now. It's like he's making every correct decision.
Yeah, he looked like he was going about 3/4 speed right there and just made his way to the sideline, kind of swatting guys off of him almost like they're flies. Just a well-oiled machine right now, this Cascade Christian team on both sides of the ball.
Frelick in motion, does not get the handoff. Sean keeps it this time, and even when you get your hands on him at the line, he breaks 2 tackles and picks up 9.
Don't have they on the stop for the Crusaders.
Slippery.
Keegan Sean is a one-man wrecking machine right now. And he doesn't have to be. He's got plenty of playmakers to get it to. That's not... Timeout. Yep, timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take this one with them. It's all challengers tonight from U.S. Cellular. We'll be back after this.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car?
And sorry about that. Just kidding. Officials decided their official timeout was not going to last very long. So 3rd and short. And he somehow manages to pop out of the pile. Elijah Smith. He just got lost in the pile and all of a sudden came popping out.
Having a game, too. Listed at 5'6", and that's one of the advantages of being that size. You can get in there and you can hide behind the offensive lineman, pop out of nowhere, and then when you can deliver a blow like that to finish the run, too, it's a sign of an all-around quality back.
Smith gets to the corner, comes back in against the pursuit.
And just look at that lean that he runs with.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
And, like, even as he's working his way through traffic, he's making his way upfield.
Yeah.
It seems like he's only going sideways, but by the time he met contact on that play, he was 5 yards downfield.
That's what happens when you've got it so drilled in your head, too, to make every effort to finish on your face mask on every play. It's amazing how quickly you can pick up just 2 to 3 extra yards of play and how big of a difference that can make.
Sean looks right, stays right, goes up top to Freilich. Can't come down with it.
That would have been a great catch.
And it was the right read. Del Planche made up quite a bit of room. Saw him shoulder fake to the flat. And then see Freilich come open downfield and try and put it up top. Exactly halfway through the second quarter. We've got 6 minutes until halftime. It's all Cascade Christian. And they're on the move again. And St. Mary's, as if they needed the help, is going to give them the cheap first down as they jump off sides on 3rd and 1.
5-yard penalty. First down, Cascade.
Freilich with the wide receiver screen gets some great blocks inside the 10. And the execution for Cascade Christian now is just flawless on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, every time. Just they have blockers downfield, eating guys up. Defensively, they're getting 5, 6, 7 guys to the ball to finish the play.
Right.
It's the mark of a well-coached team.
Freilich upfield inside the 5. He'll be short. I think he looks like he lost the ball there at the tail end, but managed to jump right back on it.
Freilich carries the ball down to the 1-yard line. Ray Foster on the stop for Crusaders.
Sean checks to the sideline. He's got a bunch here to the short side of the field. 3 wide. Hand it off to Smith. 34-0. Cascade Christian. I mean, how many times can we say the word machine?
I think it's not looking so good right now for St. Mary's, Chris.
It's just relentless. They give you absolutely no room to breathe on either side of the ball. This Cascade Christian team is playing their best football at exactly the right time, heading into the playoffs. 35-0 is your score in the Holy War from U.S. Cellular. 5:01 left until the half. Crusaders coach and staff have their work cut out for them at the break. We'll be back.
Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls offers a full scope of services from corrective jaw surgery, wisdom teeth removal, general anesthesia, dental implants, and much more. For more information or to schedule a consultation, call 541-779-3781. That's 541-779-3781.
Let's go! At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central.
Welcome back. It is all Cascade Christian here at US Cellular. Check in on some of the other games. Ashland up 21-7. Wow, South hanging tough in the black and blue game against North Medford. 14-14 at the Speed. There's Janice checking in. Jaden Foster will take this one inside the 5. Pick up some blockers. Head towards the sideline. Last man to beat across midfield. So again, Jaden Foster will set St. Mary's up with some great field position. And he may have a player down. That's Jaden down. And you see his brother Trey standing there over him. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Give them a chance. Looks like Jaden's in some pain, so we're going to have to take a quick break. We'll let you know what's going on as soon as we come back.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lake who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on LithiaSuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
I saw a parent, dad in the stands yelling at his kid, trying to coach him from the bleachers. And the embarrassment on the kid's face. It looked like he was about to cry while playing the game.
I think it's very embarrassing for a student athlete to see their parents being escorted out of the gym or off the playing field.
I'd be surprised if that kid comes back to the game.
And you risk a child enjoying the game, that you rob them of the fun. You have made a bad choice.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lake who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on LithiaSuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
And we're back. So, quick update as Brother takes it around right side, picks up 6 on the keeper. That was Jaden Foster that was down. They did have to take him off on the golf cart. It looked like maybe a left knee, something in the left leg, lower leg. All our best wishes out to Jaden, of course. Aldrich in motion. Comes this way. Trey catches it, and they just close that gap so quickly.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing there for Trayvon Foster tonight. There was maybe one opportunity where they ran that kind of little hitch pass there to him that was thrown a little wide. He couldn't get his hands on it. It ended up being an incomplete pass. But other than that, he's been surrounded by black shirts anytime the ball's been within 5 to 10 yards of him.
This is just as every other St. Mary's Crusader. As this Challengers defense just swarms to the ball over the middle. Kobe Aldrich, complete for the first down, picks up 10. Nice completion on the inside slant.
Aldrich, big sample on the stop. First down, St. Mary's.
And off. Eiler picks up 3. Looks like the Crusaders trying to drive this half out. Clock runs inside 3 minutes to the half. Rolls right, finds Aldrich, jumps the tackler, loses the ball. Ball rolls out of bounds. So St. Mary's will maintain possession.
We've got a flag down, too. I'm wondering.
Thank you, Nate. Right, flag right there at.
Penalty flag on the play.
Boy, how about that? You hurdle a guy, you make a great play, and then you get your face smashed in and lose the ball.
Yeah. It's going to happen against a fantastic Cascade Christian Challenger defense. They have been lights out all night long. Very like peaking at the right time, heading into the playoffs now. Just an incredibly impressive first half performance.
No penalty on the play.
Yeah, I was wondering. I didn't really see anything there. It started to make me wonder if there was some sort of rule I didn't know.
I think he maybe meant to throw his flag marking the fumble.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he maybe threw the wrong flag instead of his beanbag.
I'll bet that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Again, Eiler to the right side, rolls back to the middle. It'll be good for the first down to the 15.
On the carry. Big Copley and Titus Miller on the stop. Good enough for a first down for St. Mary's.
Crusaders with a shot here. 1st and 10 from the 15. They'll take to the air. He looks left. Still looking to throw. Throws on the run. A little too wide for Jonah Hadley.
Pass incomplete. Keep testing. With pressure on the quarterback.
St. Mary's doesn't run a lot of plays where they try to keep Wailahua in the pocket. But on the few occasions that they might have tried to tonight, he's getting flushed out so quickly.
That's just been the story of this first half. Just when St. Mary's starts to get something going, they try and go up top and it gets picked off. This time they try the inside reverse and only pick up a couple. Cascade Christian not fooled on the misdirection.
Hayden Aldrich with the carry. Christian Brim on the stop.
I don't think I've seen that play work this year. There's so many things that have to go right, the timing with it. You have the handoffs in such a tight space there.
And Cascade Christian jumps that time. Yeah, and people that aren't necessarily used to making handoffs. These aren't quarterbacks. These are wide receivers and running backs. So that will help the Crusaders, and that'll make it 3rd and we'll call it 4. Foster to the bottom of the formation. Baldrich in motion. They tried the hard count again and almost got the challengers to jump. Check to the sideline. Hand off to Eiler. Nothing doing. Lost a yard.
Met by Jake Copley.
Eiler on the carry.
I mean, I don't know if he was untouched or if he just blew up his man, but he was there waiting.
So 4th and 5, Crusaders. What do you got to lose?
Well, yeah, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, what good does 3 points do you other than getting that bagel off the board? You still got 24 minutes left to do that.
No, absolutely the right call here. See what the Crusader coaches dial up. They come to the line.
Really, what's the difference between 35-0 and 35-3?
Right, no. This is absolutely 4-down territory. Look left, flush left. He's
What is education? Is it desks in a line? Is it reading from a textbook? Or should it be something more?
St. Mary's is a really special place, and it's hard to understand that unless you visit, unless you spend time here.
And the kids here are just wonderful.
It makes teaching easy because they want to learn and they're respectful.
They care about each other. They know how to collaborate and work together. They know how to figure out complex problems.
They respond to enthusiasm and they develop their enthusiasm, which is something that I feed off as a teacher.
We care for them as a whole, as an individual. It's not just about my subject. We care about all parts of that student.
The benefits of our project-based learning program in the middle school is that students are able to take what they're learning and make something really creative and inventive and exciting, and they're also very invested in it because it's real to them.
The students really get involved and get to learn problem solving through a hands-on approach. Through our mod system, they can take an engineering class and see if it's for them, but then maybe realize that they want to do something a little more creative and then take some art classes and find out that architecture might be their thing.
This is education for the 21st century. Our programming is designed to teach people to think outside the box.
This year we have students from 11 different countries, all of our American students, so we're an international campus. Students learn from each other. Local students learn from students who come to go to school here. In the classrooms, they really add to what is happening, and that benefits the local students.
A great education is
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that the parent, the coach, the referee, the fans, we all have a role.
Welcome back for the second half. Thank you so much for sticking with us. It is all Cascade Christian as we start this second half. St. Mary's did defer the opening coin toss, so they will receive here to open the second half. They scored to close out the first half, so a chance to cut a little bit into this deficit. To the 15. Out to the 30. Piled up there. Flag comes in long from behind and late.
No flash for the return. 25. Shot by a host of challengers. There's a penalty flag on the play.
Rude play. Too many guys tackling the ball carrier on the defense. Oh, see, I wasn't even close at all.
Holding on the offense against St. Mary's, so that'll back them up.
I kid, but again, I mean, you just 6 black shirts on the ball, even on a kickoff.
Right.
I think this is the second or third that I've been with Cascade Christian this year, and that's the one thing that's stood out to me, you know, among the athleticism, the execution on offense, but just the way that they rally to the ball on defense.
Right.
It's easy to talk about, and it's something that every team learns in defensive camps and among things like that, but, you know, drilling it into your players to the point where that's the way they're executing on Friday night.
So the officials not only walked off 5 yards, they need to walk off 10. So they respot the ball. Low snap, brother handles it. There just is absolutely nowhere to go.
They allow it to carry. Loss on the play. Stopped by Dick Copley and Grant Cousins.
Well, looks like we're back. Sorry about that. We had some internet issues there for a minute. Brothers trying to make a play happen. Gets it to the far sideline. This is actually going to be close to a first down.
Good Aldrich on the reception for the Crusaders.
Do appreciate you sticking with us. We are back with 8:45 left in the third. St. Mary's with the ball. It'll actually be 4th and short. They get the first down.
Brady Hunter picks up the first down for St. Mary's.
Kobe Aldrich on the carry. So not what you'd like to see for the Crusaders heading into the playoffs, but they know this is a state championship caliber team on the field in black, purple, and gold. Oof.
Yeah.
When you're just down to sound effects, when we both just, oof. I keep saying relentless. It's just constant. I mean, Cascade Christian, it's like they're playing with an extra player.
They're meeting the handoff.
Yeah.
They've done it maybe half a dozen times tonight.
Yeah.
And it's not like St. Mary's is a bad team. You know, that's something you see out of teams that are down at the bottom of the standings. I mean, this game is basically for the conference title.
Slam pattern complete for 7 or 8. Colby Aldrich goes head over heels.
Boy, he's had a physical game, hasn't he? Both sides of the ball. We've seen him hurdle guys. We've seen him take some big hits. We've seen him dish out a couple of big hits.
When you get these smaller schools, you got to play both ways. The best players on both of these teams play every single snap. Good for a first down, so St. Mary's a little something. And that's where you get in games like this. You know you're playing next week. You know you're in the playoffs, so you've got to just stick with it. Keep playing your game. Another official's timeout.
Sideline warning. Get up, get out of the way, back it up.
Yeah. First and 10 from the 44. Jonah Hadley in motion. Brother looks that way. Finds Kobe Aldrich right to midfield.
It's a game where Kobe Aldrich is going to walk away from it feeling like he gave everything that he could. He's going to be hurting tomorrow, but he's been so involved in a lot of the big hits tonight.
They say he will sleep well tonight. And wake up late tomorrow. Eiler picks his way through the line, picks up 10. It's cold up here. That coffee was coming back on me.
Didn't expect it to make a second appearance, did you?
Inside 6 minutes. He will wind the clock. St. Mary's on the move. Too tall for Aldrich this time. Clock stops with 5:42 left in the third.
It's interesting that here late in the game, Foster's been shut down all evening. So you understand that part of it. But it's been both Freilich and McFeeters. Just ISO on him. So it's interesting that they've gone out of their way now to switch their offense basically to go through Aldrich through the air.
Pressure gets to him. Tries to go downfield to Bo Aldrich through a triangle of Cascade Christian defenders.
So to get back to that, that's something that you would typically see if the coverage was shifted so far over towards Trey that you expected a one-on-one matchup on that other side. Has been so strong that they haven't really had to do much like that. St. Mary's is just grasping at straws now, trying to find anything they can offensively. And Kobe Aldrich has put in a pretty good effort.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Oh, it has not been for a lack of effort from anyone in blue and white tonight. False start is the call from the near sideline.
Against the Crusaders.
I think our boys with the whistles down there tonight are the second time they've struggled to count off the correct penalty yardage.
3rd and 15. Walehua going to keep it. Picks up 9.
Walehua with the carry. Bryson Cannon on the stop.
Pulled down from behind by a defensive lineman. And I think, if anything, that more speaks to the speed of this Cascade Christian defense than it does anything about St. Mary's, because we know Brother can make plays back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know he's plenty fast.
Foster on the sideline. This time they find him in front of McFeeters.
Foster on the catch. Matt McFeeters defending.
Yeah, that's the only way to get McFeeters out of his hip pocket, is that quick stop and comeback.
And I'm surprised that's the only time we've seen that. He jumped a slant route. They've been all over the fade routes. It's the first time we've really just seen the kind of old school stop button hook type of play.
Pitch to Heika. Breaks a couple of tackles. And that's good for a first down. Gain of 15 for Will Heika.
Heika. Wide enough. Posted out of bounds. 1st and 10, Crusaders.
I kind of like that play against a speedy defense like this too, where conventionally you're not going to try to beat a fast defense around the edges, but if you're going to do it, run that kind of quick toss play out of a shotgun where you've already got your back flanked out a little bit and you can just whip it to him.
Right.
And hope that you've got a one-on-one block on the edge and that you've got a tackle that can seal that corner and you can steal 8 to 10 yards.
Eiler tries the right side.
2nd and 12.
Brady Eiler, 14 carries for 39 yards in the first half. Jonah Hadley, the leading receiver for St. Mary's, 3 catches, 51 yards. Brother was 9 of 16 for 79 yards and those 3 picks. And he is now added to. But he's got him on the move now, throws into double coverage in the back of the end zone.
Pass incomplete, knocked down by Christian Freilich.
Freilich will get credit for the deflection.
Brings up 3rd down for St. Mary's.
Bring up 3rd and 13 without getting a touchdown. Brother puts it up. Foster And that's exactly what you've been saying, Nate. You put it up there where he can get it or nobody can get it.
Yeah, there's only one guy that's allowed to get his hands on that ball. And that was, put it in the right spot, and that's, I mean, really, if you're not going to complete that pass, that's the result you want, is well out of bounds. Now, of course, ideally, you're completing that for a touchdown. But.
Timeout, St. Mary's. And we'll be back right after this.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive.
$48-0. It is all Crater and Central Point over the Lancers. Here comes the pressure, flushes Wailehua. Just throws it out the back of the end zone. And that will be a turnover on downs. So 1st and 10 the other way now for Cascade Christian. We'll see what they have dialed up. 3:22 left in the third.
Possibly last gasp there for St. Mary's.
Yeah.
It was already looking pretty dire.
Get it down to that point in the
12.
field, right.
Yep. You had to go for it. You had to get something out of it.
Sean to Freilich. Tries to work horizontally, finally finds a seam. That'll be good for a first down.
Out of bounds.
Stacked formation here to the near side. Here comes the motion. Fakes the handoff, looks downfield, goes up top. Brother in coverage. Had it just bounce off his face mask.
Shot pass intended for Brayton Scaglione.
Scaglione, the intended receiver. You can see Sean. He made 2 or 3 reads and then just let it go.
Not entirely sure what Cascade Christian's trying to accomplish throwing on first down at this point in the game.
Yeah. Double stacks to each side now. 2nd and 10. And Smith right up the middle. There you go. 11 yards for Smith.
It's a little more like it. There's really no reason to do anything other than that because St. Mary's hasn't been able to stop it all night.
Smith again. Has 5.
Nice move.
Bumps outside to the 30. Breaks a tackle inside the 25. It takes 3 Crusaders to push him out of bounds.
All the way down to the 20-yard line.
35 yards.
Horses are out of bounds.
All night for Elijah Smith. combination of great blocking, tremendous running ability, just gouging yardage out of this Crusaders defense.
Sean keeps it this time, tries the edge. Puts his head down. Again, not just your typical quarterback, also the starting safety. Not a quarterback that's afraid of contact.
The ball on the Crusader 12-yard line.
Freilich gets past the initial defender. Touchdown, Christian Freilich. So the points just keep on coming for the challengers. Nothing but impressed with them tonight. And a muff snap. St. Mary's jumps on it, so the score will remain 48-7. We'll be back right after this. .58 left in the third. Offense, defense. See the first mistake of the night for Cascade Christian. A little muff snap there on an extra point. Mounts to just about nothing. Like you said, even some good luck comes St. Mary's way. Comes in a place where they can't really take advantage of it. Kick fielded at the 10. Past the 20. Tries to stutter step. 25. Flag on the near side. I believe Trey Foster is going to pick up the flag. Hold.
Holding on the Crusader.
And St. Mary's is the call.
Story of the night for the Crusaders. Just mistakes all across the board. 3 interceptions in the first half, had them down big early. Penalties, bad luck, I mean, you name it. It's pretty much gone against St. Mary's this evening.
And Cascade Christian has given them absolutely no room to breathe. All backed up to the 18-yard line. Jonah Hadley, the intended receiver, thrown behind him, almost picked by Sean.
It is a defensive back.
On the coverage, taking shot for the challengers.
2 in a row.
Tipped, almost picked. He was staring down Kobe Aldrich. Boys in black knew exactly where that ball was going.
3rd and 10.
Got the freshman quarterback Keith Reed warming up down here on the sideline for Cascade Christian. He might get a little bit of run here in the last regular season game of the year.
Over the middle, Kobe Aldrich complete for the first down.
He's still in it. He's still got his head in the game.
Oh, yeah.
To Kobe Aldrich for a Crusader first down. Big sample on the
Also, see, I had both the backup quarterbacks down there. Sam Martin also getting warmed up. Probably more likely to see the junior first.
Trey Foster got tied up. Brother just trying to make something happen on 2nd and 10. Out pattern, not on the same page there.
Brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 10 on the Crusader 35.
So North has come back 38-21 over South. Now as that ball gets tipped on its way to Aldrich.
That's incomplete. Intended for Kobe Aldrich. Big Sean defending for Cascade.
Ashland up 35-21. Those are the only check-ins we have.
On their own 35.
Have we seen a punt yet tonight? I feel like there is one, maybe.
Yeah.
But considering the score of this game, the fact that St. Mary's
not go
is
for
only,
it, yeah.
I mean, they've punted it one time, and that's just because they got down so big, so quickly.
Try to get it to Foster. Can't quite get up that high.
I mean, punting the ball's pretty much been out of the question since midway through the first quarter.
Yeah, you've either been down actually close to the end zone in 4-down territory, and now at this point you're in such a hole, there's no reason to
it's
not
all
just
4-down territory.
So a big night for the Challengers here on senior night. They get this final home game to head into the playoffs on a high note. Timeout Challengers will go ahead and take it with them back in just a minute.
K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Leyte who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find
Smith brought down right at the line, Kobe Aldrich.
Brought down by Kobe Aldrich. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Pass to the flat, falls incomplete. And that is Sam Martin in at quarterback now for the Challengers. So they've gone to the junior.
Hard counts, timeouts, throwing the ball.
Same here.
You're up by 41 points with 20 seconds left in the third quarter. I just don't get it.
Yeah. I'll make it 3rd and short. Off on the reverse, sample, foot in the ground, touchdown, Cascade Christian.
Hey, that kid's fast, Chris.
He certainly is. And quite a set of hands on him as well. The explosive Cascade Christian offense just keeps putting up points. Kick is no good. So we will once again keep it 54-7. Cascade Christian in control. 13 seconds left in the third. We'll be back.
Let's go! At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
The Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery provide professional, personal, and compassionate care for their patients. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls practice the full scope of services, from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much more. For more information or to schedule your complimentary dental implant consultation, call 541-779-3781.
We think
There you see the score. All Cascade Christian tonight here on senior night for the Challengers. Fielded on the hop. Stopped by the first wave of defenders at the 25-yard line. That'll do it. 54-7 Cascade Christian. We'll see you in the fourth.
Let's go!
At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter here from U.S. Cellular. Bo Aldrich going to be taking the snaps now, as he did a couple of weeks ago in an emergency situation. Well, it's time to think about staying healthy for the playoffs. St. Mary's already down Jaden Foster tonight. Big weapon in the return game and on defense especially. Brother already missed a game with a concussion. That's why Aldrich had to fill in. And he's just not the kind of player that knows a half speed. Aldrich to the air, picked off. 60-7 is the score.
Hey, what do you know? Elijah Smith. How many times has he found the end zone tonight?
Pretty good, huh? And we have indeed gone to a running clock.
It's just, I gotta laugh. I mean, if you're just joining us, it's senior night here for Cascade Christian. They made it through all the seniors, and somehow they didn't have anything written up for Elijah Smith. He was the last one to go. They kind of had to ad-lib. Everyone had a bit of a laugh at it. And it's almost as though he's played this game with the intent of making sure that he's not forgotten. It's not like he hasn't been a vital part of the team this year.
Right.
But it's just kind of funny to see that play out in real time where he gets snubbed by his own staff.
Kick is up and good. All Cascade Christian. We'll be back. Welcome back. So the interception return for a touchdown has Cascade Christian up even bigger. Fielded at the 5. Heika to the 30. He'll be brought down there. So both of these teams locked up playoff spots. St. Mary's locked theirs up last week. So they will both have a game next week no matter what. But Cascade Christian will be going into that game on quite a roll. They are playing fantastic, fantastic football against a very good, a 6-2 coming into this game, 3-1 in league St. Mary's squad.
It's safe to say this is not at all what we expected out of this game. You know, we know the pedigree of Cascade Christian.
Right.
So that part wasn't a secret. We knew they were going to challenge for a state title this year. But St. Mary's came into this game with an opportunity, you know, with a win, they'd win the league.
Right.
Hidden
Valley.
Hidden Valley would win the league. You're right, but they'd be right there in that second spot. So on paper, this looked like it was going to be a pretty close matchup.
Yeah.
And it was not close. Starting at about, 2-3 minutes into the game. Took 90 seconds for Cascade Christian to get on the board. They quickly forced a turnover and scored again. And before we even knew it, this was a 3-score game.
And there has been no getting off the gas pedal for Cascade Christian. I was actually talking with Jim McCoy, the Cascade Christian play-by-play guy over there before the game. We were saying when all you're ever looking at is blowouts, it's so hard to know who's any good.
Yeah.
Like when all you're looking at is blowouts one way or another.
And that's not even to speak of how futile it is to compare scores with like opponents to begin with.
Right.
You mentioned it. St. Mary's played Hidden Valley closer than Cascade did.
Yep.
Kind of by a decent margin.
Yeah. So, transitive property, not applicable.
I mean, what
we
else
like
are
to
we gonna
educate
do
as
other
well
than-
as entertain here at Table Rock Sports.
Yeah, algebra lessons here in a 61-7 game. We got to give you something.
Geometry proofs. QED.
Dear viewer.
Quod erat demonstratum.
Oh, boy.
Bo Aldrich, nice job to just get back to the line of scrimmage. And they just keep coming. Cascade Christian in waves.
John Bailey on the stop for the challengers.
They've primarily got their second defensive unit out there as well.
2nd and 9.
Second and 9 from the 49. Aldrich throws low. He can't go down and get it.
Aldrich pass. Incomplete intended for Brady Reed. 3rd and 9.
So 3rd and 9 now after the incompletion. St. Mary's just looking to get out of here and into the playoffs. Del Planche. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
Del Planche on the carry.
Have an injury on the field.
It's Elijah Neff down there. You can see how that play ended up. It looks like he just kind of got rolled up in Del Planche at the end of the play.
Holding his forearm there. He's going to make his way to the sideline relatively quickly. And that's what we were just saying. You just want to get out of these games in one piece. Especially at these smaller schools. You got short benches. You got smaller student bodies with in the first place. You're playing full 11-on-11 football. Most of these kids are going both ways the entire time. Aldrich will go up top. Yet another interception.
Aldrich pass intercepted by Tyler Amundsen.
Amundsen.
The freshman getting himself a stat. Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in there anytime you can. Getting lifted up by his teammates there on the sideline.
I mean, geez, that ball was begging to be intercepted.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of put it up. There's not a lot else to do right now.
Middle of the field, not an ideal place to throw a jump ball.
Yeah. Suboptimal, we'd call that. But there aren't a lot of optimal places to go with the ball against Cascade Christian. They just blanket this field.
Over and over again tonight, they've shown it.
Yeah.
Starting from the opening defensive possession.
.445 on the running clock as we bring this 2019 regular season to an end. It'll be playoffs starting next Friday night. We'll have to wait until all the results come in tonight. We get all the rankings there on OSAA. I'll be checking it about 11:30, and the site will start crashing as everybody's trying to see where the rankings come out. Up the middle. No, he kept it. Fooled me.
Sam Martin on the keeper.
Martin.
All the way down to the
nifty ball work.
24-yard line.
These times of the game are always kind of fun, though, just because you hear the crowd get as into it now as they would in a close game, because you're seeing those guys at the end of the bench, the freshmen, the sophomore.
Right.
Or, in this case,
even rivalry games you've got right. Everybody's a little more hyped up anyway. I get a chance to see some of these kids that don't get to see the field as much, except in these blowouts.
The fans go nuts for those guys when they get a stat.
They sure do.
You see the same thing in basketball. I always laugh about that. You get the end of a blowout, you get those freshmen off the end of the bench, and one of them makes a bucket, and that is loud. That's as loud as you'll hear a gym all season.
So regardless of the score tonight, we can just wipe this one away. We're starting fresh next week. We'll see where St. Mary's ends up. After this, probably on the road somewhere.
Bassburn again on the carry. Lance Parrish on the stop.
But, if we were working Vegas and we were putting lines on it, even if they're a lower, say a double-digit seed, I think in all likelihood you may have them as a road favorite going into a playoff game next week.
Brought on a
victory formation here.
Yeah, a whole new unit here for 3rd and 5.
Just going to kneel it out. And it'll probably be a couple of more kneels out of St. Mary's, and we'll be on our way.
Neat.
I want to thank you, Nate, so much for joining me.
Pleasure's all on this side of the headset, my friend.
Thank all of the folks at home. Fortunately, our free coverage does come to an end here. The OSA forces us into their pay-per-view network. And NFHS does a great job, but everything from here on out, just about, you do have to pony up that $9.95 monthly NFHS subscription. But you get every game from every sport at every level. It's a great deal.
Free ride ends at the playoffs.
We're also very proud to partner with the OSAA and the NFHS network. Do a great job at all the facilities come playoff time. Keep it on the ground. Del Planch. They may make him snap it one more time. We're at 20 seconds. Del Planch looking for a little bit of room, but that'll do it. It ends just about as it begins with a great play from the boys in black and purple. A thorough domination for Cascade Christian tonight. That is your final.
A statement performance. I mean, you would think with the way this game turned out that they were almost offended at the fact that St. Mary's was hanging with them.
Right.
You know, in the
thought
standings.
They could play with them. Right.
And fought and came to a closer score at the end with Hidden Valley. Almost like they looked at that and said, no way. These guys aren't on our level, and they came out and proved it from the gun tonight.
Keegan Sean, Elijah Smith, Cade Sample, all fantastic tonight. All Cascade Christian. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for putting up with our internet issues. We will see you next week.
That's it.
We out.